Hello guys, my name is Rizky from Career for All and it's nearing the end of 2020, the dreadful 2020. I just want to do something a little bit different. It's been a while since I do a vlog style of a video. I think it's giving me an opportunity to use my favorite tiny camera of 2020, which is the Sony a6400. I think Singapore has been doing really well in this current pandemic situations. I just want to share with you what the government has been asking us to do here in Singapore in order for us to manage this current pandemic situation very well. Of course, thanks to all the government officials, all the medical workers, and of course all the essential workers out there that has been doing really well throughout this current pandemic. So at the beginning of the pandemic, the country was on lockdown for about 2 months. Now, at the end of 2020, I do believe many of us would agree, beside the fact that we need to wear our masks every day and the fact that we have to do our contact tracings every day, we have managed to return to our normal lifestyle, or at least a form of a normalcy. So this is something that we can be really grateful for, especially the fact that we're actually living here in Singapore. The government has done a lot of things during this particular pandemic time. At the beginning of the pandemic, the government actually provided us with free masks for all the household, and subsequently they also provided a couple of different reusable masks that we as a resident can actually enjoy for free. At the same time, as the residents and citizens of Singapore, we actually did a couple of different things during our daily life. So I just want to do this video to share to other people in the different countries. I know a lot of my friends in the neighboring countries or some of my relatives in the neighboring countries are still pretty much heavily affected by the pandemic. So I just want to share a little bit of a glimpse of our lifestyle here in Singapore and how we actually managed to bring this pandemic to a more manageable level. In the very near future, we'll be back to normal. Looking back, I can't still believe that just a couple of months back, we are still stuck at home. We can't even go out for any non-essential things. During the lockdown, or what we call circuit breaker here in Singapore, we are not allowed to go out except for some essential stuff like buying groceries, buying food, or whatsoever, or do exercising outdoor. So at this point of time, we can take public transports, buses, trains, taxis, and even Grab. We can basically do our daily lifestyle pretty much similar to in the past. There are certain aspects of life that not yet coming back to normal. So an example, of course, for some of my friends who like to go for clubbings, the clubs are not yet open. It's probably pretty rare in the past to see Clarke Quay to be this quiet. But I think government is currently doing something to it, and I believe there'll be like some new changes pretty soon. Even though the CBD is still less busy compared to pre-pandemic situations, but it's starting to get pretty packed nowadays, and many companies in CBD areas is actually currently implementing 50% of workforce to be working from office instead of working from home. But of course, many of us now starting to get used to working from home. So I do believe this is something that may be permanent in the future. I know some big companies who have started to implement this working from home concept all the way till the end of 2021. The good thing about Singapore is the fact that most of us tend to agree that wearing masks is important. In fact, this is one thing that government keep emphasizing during the earlier period of the pandemic. At the beginning of the pandemic, the government gave us this surgical mask, which I believe it serves as a good training ground, whereby it's kind of make all the residents to get used to the wearing masks. I'm sure there are many different aspects that make Singapore able to manage this pandemic successfully. However, I do believe the fact that most of us actually wearing masks plays a big part too. My message to anyone who refuses to wear masks is very simple. I'm not going to argue on the benefits. What I can say is that there's nothing to lose when you are wearing a mask. And unlike during the beginning of the pandemic, the cost of masks now is pretty affordable, and you can even do it on your own. So I do believe wearing masks is like wearing a watch. You will get used to it. You know that you are wearing it, but you will tend to ignore it. I've been wearing masks since the beginning of the pandemic, wear it on site. I work on many different video shoots that we do, and after a while, I'll just simply forget that I actually wear a mask. So one of the things that we need to do here in Singapore, becoming like the new standard of practices here in Singapore, is the fact that whenever we visit any buildings or shopping malls, we have to scan a QR code that will actually link us to a contact tracing app done by the government. Therefore, whenever new cases arises, they can actually track the source right away and isolate. I'm walking around here at Orchard Road and it really feels like pre-pandemic period, whereby we can see all the different shoppers. In terms of the numbers of footfall, I think it's pretty much similar to the pre-pandemic period. So during the pandemic period, of course, we missed a lot of different celebrations. But the good thing is it kind of seems like a normal day nowadays. And I guess we may not need to miss Christmas. For some of us who celebrate Christmas, we can still celebrate outside. Although we can actually do a big kind of a gathering, but small gatherings is possible at this point of time. Honestly, I was really surprised to see how busy all the shopping malls are. I'm at Orchard Road now, and it seems like in order for you to enter every single shopping mall, you actually need to queue for that. So that's all for today. I just simply want to give a bit of a glimpse of how our life here in Singapore. I'm really grateful that Singapore has managed this pandemic very successfully, and I actually hope by showing you a bit of a glimpse on how we live our life here will actually help some of my friends who happens to stay in other countries. I do believe as a normal citizens we can't do anything with the government policy, but each of us will be able to do our parts in order for us to manage this pandemic better. I'm hoping that everyone is coping well with this current situation. For those who are still struggling, stay strong. We've been hearing a lot of good news on the vaccine side, and hopefully all of us can come out from this pandemic stronger than before. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I see you next time.